hi, my name is Jay, and for today's video, I'm going to share my thoughts on the Beauty and the Beast remake. So this will be a non-spoilery and a spoilery part because I kind of want to dive into it a little bit more. So if you want to avoid spoilers, I'll let you know when it starts. But for now, I'll start with the non-spoilery part. Let's start by saying that I have not watched any of the Disney remakes for any of the animated things. I didn't watch Cinderella, Jungle Book, what else did they do? But Maleficent, does that even count as a remake? I don't know. This was the first time I've watched one because there was one that I was actually interested in. And before I saw the movie, I was like, ooh, Emma Watson, this is gonna be good. And when I was seeing everyone else that was on the roster of people that were gonna be in the movie, my general thought was, really? Especially for Josh Gad. I don't know, he's already been Olaf, so I can't really imagine him as anything else in a Disney movie. So the only actress that I really had confidence in was Emma Watson. Here are my thoughts on the movie. Everyone was fantastic. The Beast was great. I really liked Gaston. I was so impressed with LeFou. I had some qualms over her dad because I really didn't feel like they captured his quirkiness that we saw in the original film, but I was still okay with him. I thought he was very sweet and I liked his character. And everyone else is great except for Emma Watson. Ugh. I'm so sorry. She's the main character, but I feel like she did not carry the movie at all. I didn't feel like her voice suited any of the songs. Okay, there were like a couple of new songs in the film and I thought she did decently in them, only because I couldn't compare it to Paige O'Hara who sang in the original movie, you know? So it was just so underwhelming. Her voice, I felt like it was auto-tuned in a way that made it seem like it didn't fit into the movie, and her acting was just one note throughout the whole thing. Even in the sad moments of the film, I felt like she didn't capture those sad moments. I wasn't in it, you know? Okay, so they did do minor changes from the original film, but just minor. I feel like they really dived into storylines a little bit more, and some of like the kind of plot holes that we've uncovered or that we've brought up over the years has really been addressed slightly in the remake, which I thought was fine, and I really liked going into the Beast's past a little bit more, as well as Belle's past. We kind of get her mother into this whole thing, which is great. Okay, musical numbers. I don't know if this is spoilery or not, but I'll talk about it in the spoilery section, so I'll go into that later. But the musical numbers I thought were generally pretty good. The parts where Emma Watson was singing were fine. Okay. But Be Our Guest, I really wish I had seen it in 3D because I felt like I was kind of standing on the side of everything and I really wanted to be immersed in the whole thing. All of the colors were really pretty and I thought they did really well with the animation thing, or I don't know the terms for stuff. Sure, why not? Can I just say for something there, I really liked her outfit. I didn't like her blue outfit at all that she wears, but the red cape thingy that she has, oh, I love it. The Gaston number, I love how they added more into it. I still wanted more from it. I don't know what I wanted from that part in the film, but I was really happy with it. But the thing that really surprised me and just came out of left field that just woke me up and I was like, whoa, this is so amazing, was the Mob song at the end of the film. I thought Luke Evans did such an amazing job. There was something about him as Gaston in the number Gaston where I felt like he didn't have the deep vocal range that we expect from his character. But for the Mob song, I thought it was so good. It was super intense and it just made you want to just go and kill the beast. It was so fun. Overall, I thought that the movie was kind of, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I was pleasantly surprised throughout the whole thing, but there was something about it that I wanted more of. But overall, I thought it was great. Now on to the spoilery part. I love Josh Gad as LeFou. I am so sorry if I said anything bad about you, but it was wonderful. I loved his performance. I love how they deviated from the original storyline where LeFou was kind of just the bumbling idiot sidekick of Gaston. He had, you know, he had personality and he had a heart, and we saw that change in him at the end of the movie and throughout it, where we feel like he's calling Gaston on stuff, but you know, he doesn't want to say anything out loud. But I really love that. I love the script of this movie. I don't know if I've already said that, but I think they did a great job with the script. Now, again, I knew nothing about this film, so I had no idea that there were 4 new songs in this. What? I think it was Emma Watson who first started singing a new song, or I don't know if it was someone else, whatever. But I was like, this isn't from the Broadway musical, is it? No, I've only listened to it like once, so I was like, is this from the Broadway? No, it's not. I've never heard this song before. So it turns out Alan Menken and Tim Rice created 4 new songs for this film, which is super great. I actually really like them. I felt like they really suited the whole atmosphere, the whole vibe. It was seamless, and I felt like it should have been a part of Beauty and the Beast this whole time. Belle sang a new song, her dad sang a new song. I think the Beast also sang one of the new songs. Oh, that scene where he sang after Belle left was the most heartbreaking moment, and I was in tears. Belle crying over the Beast when he died, when Gaston shot him, it didn't even hit me with tears, because I was like, all right, Emma Watson, give me a little bit more with that acting. But when the Beast was yearning for Belle, I was like, wow, oh my gosh. I'm sitting there, just tears streaming down my face in the movie theater. It was such a glorious moment. I love it. So I really liked how we got to see a lot more of their relationship in this movie, because with the original, you know, we kind of saw a montage of all of the things that they did, and I just want to say that they closely followed pretty much the entire film, except for some added changes, obviously, and some modernization in terms of Belle's character. But it follows pretty closely, but I really like how they added a little bit more into their relationship to see that, you know, the servants in the castle weren't just pushing them to be together, but they actually wanted to be together and get to know each other. So we really get to see Beast and Belle as they form that bond, that relationship, how they kind of talk to each other, instead of us just seeing it in montage form and in something there. So I really like those scenes with them together. It was super sweet. My favorite part of something there was when Beast threw that gigantic snowball at Belle and she just plopped right down on the ground. It was hilarious. Oh, I remember what else I wanted to say. It just popped up in my mind. The underwhelming things. First, the library scene. In the original, we really get to see the entire library. So I was kind of disappointed that they didn't like pan the entire room so that we could see the whole thing. That was kind of disappointing. But the most severely disappointing thing out of all of the numbers is Beauty and the Beast. You know that scene in the original where they kind of pan from the ceiling and like down to them dancing, and it is this beautiful, remarkable scene that you're just like, wow, how could they do this in an animated movie? I didn't get that moment in the remake. There was a flicker of that feeling when like Beast picked her up and there were just lights all over. That's kind of reminiscent of Tangled, and it was beautiful in those like 10 seconds, but the entire thing was so severely underwhelming, and I think it was one of the most disappointing numbers out of the whole thing. Even, you know, when Emma Watson was singing during her numbers. But that whole sequence was just, really? Not a good one. Let's end this on a happy note, because I felt like I was just bashing on this entire movie the whole time. I really love how they animated Beast's face. I thought his facial expressions were absolutely beautiful and hilarious and so sweet to look at. The little quirks in his facial expression, and you know, those momentary hints of sadness that just really grab your heart. I felt like they really did a wonderful job, and I felt so much emotion just from the Beast's face, and I felt like that was really the saving grace through this movie. So yeah, I'm sure that I have a lot more thoughts on it, but I just can't think of it right now because this video is kind of impromptu. Okay, so let me know in the comment section down below, what are your thoughts on the Beauty and the Beast remake? I want to know. Let's have a discussion in the comment section down below. Alright, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time with a brand new video. Goodbye! I'm sorry that all of my thoughts are all over the place. I didn't really plan out this video before I started to film, and I'm at 13 minutes right now, so I can pick up the pace.